Have you ever pondered how the American Revolution might have fueled the fight for freedom in India? In the latter half of the 18th century, a profound shift was taking place across the Atlantic. A group of 13 colonies under the thumb of the British Empire began to stir with the spirit of rebellion. This was the dawn of the American Revolution, a pivotal moment in history that would not only reshape the political landscape of the New World, but also send ripples of change across the globe. At the heart of this revolution were potent ideas of liberty, of democracy, and of the right to self-governance. These were not simply lofty philosophical concepts, but principles that the American revolutionaries were willing to fight, bleed, and die for. They saw themselves not as subjects of a distant monarchy, but as free individuals with inalienable rights. The American Revolution was not just about a change in political authority. It was a radical reimagining of what a society could be. A society where power didn't trickle down from the top, but was derived from the consent of the governed. A society where individuals were not merely subjects, but citizens with a voice. In the Declaration of Independence, these principles were boldly laid out for all to see. It was a document that didn't merely declare a separation from Britain, but a commitment to a set of ideals that were revolutionary in their own right. The echoes of its powerful words. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, were heard not just in the American colonies, but across oceans and continents. The seeds of these powerful ideas, sown during the American Revolution, traveled far beyond the borders of the newly formed United States. And as we'll see in the coming scenes, they found fertile ground in the hearts and minds of those fighting for freedom in distant India. Across the globe, in the heart of the British Empire's jewel in the crown, these ideas began to sprout. As the 18th century drew to a close, India found itself under the yoke of British rule. The British East India Company, a powerful trading entity, had transformed into a governing force, controlling vast territories with its private armies. This period, known as company rule, marked the beginning of 2 centuries of direct and indirect British control over the Indian subcontinent. The socio-political climate during this era was a crucible of discontent. The Indian populace grappled with the harsh realities of foreign rule. High taxes, the disruption of traditional economies, and cultural interference caused widespread dissatisfaction. Yet, amidst this tumult, the seeds of resistance began to germinate. One of these key events was the Revolt of 1857, often considered India's first war of independence. This rebellion, although unsuccessful, marked a significant shift in India's struggle against British rule. It was a clear message to the British Empire that the Indian spirit was not easily subdued. As the 19th century progressed, so did the demand for self-rule. Indian intellectuals and leaders began to articulate these aspirations more boldly. The formation of the Indian National Congress in 1885, for instance, was a milestone. It signified the emergence of a unified political voice, seeking greater representation and rights for Indians. Around the same time, the ideas of freedom, democracy, and equality were making their way from the American Revolution to Indian shores. These concepts resonated deeply with Indian thinkers and freedom fighters. They saw in the American struggle a mirror of their own, a beacon of hope that colonial rule could be successfully challenged. As we delve deeper into the 20th century, the echoes of the American Revolution become even more profound. The nonviolent resistance strategy, inspired by the American Civil Rights Movement, became a cornerstone of India's path to independence. As the call for self-rule grew louder, the echoes of the American Revolution were unmistakable. It's undeniable that the American Revolution left an indelible mark on the Indian struggle for freedom. The echoes of the American Revolution reverberated through the corridors of time and across geographical boundaries, reaching the shores of India and resonating within the hearts of its freedom fighters. The American Revolution, a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of the people, greatly influenced the philosophies of Indian freedom fighters. It was a prime example of how a group of determined individuals could overthrow a powerful regime, inspiring those in India who yearned for liberation from British rule. A critical aspect that Indian freedom fighters borrowed from the American Revolution was the adoption of democratic principles. The American Revolution was not just about gaining independence from the British. It was about creating a society where the power rested with the people. This idea of democracy, of giving power back to the people, was something that deeply resonated with Indian leaders. They saw in the American Revolution a blueprint for their own struggle. They sought to create a free India where power was vested in the hands of its citizens, not a foreign power. This inspired them to draft the Indian Constitution, a document that would serve as the bedrock of the world's largest democracy. However, the influence of the American Revolution didn't stop there. It also sparked the concept of civil disobedience in the Indian freedom struggle. Civil disobedience, as practiced by American revolutionaries, involved the refusal to comply with certain laws as a form of peaceful protest. This idea was adopted and made famous by Mahatma Gandhi in his non-violent resistance against British rule. The American Revolution was a catalyst, a spark that ignited the flame of freedom in the hearts of Indian freedom fighters. It was more than just a historical event. It was a symbol of hope, a testament to the power of the people, and a guide for those who sought to free their land from the shackles of oppression. The American Revolution, though oceans away, had a profound impact on the Indian quest for independence. The American Revolution and India's struggle for independence, while separated by time and space, are connected through a shared legacy. The American Revolution, a landmark event in the annals of history, wasn't just a war for liberty fought on the shores of the New World. It was a beacon, a clarion call echoing across oceans and continents, reaching the ears of those yearning for freedom, equality, and self-governance. This call didn't go unheard in India. The American Revolution's lasting impact on India's political structure is profound. It served as an inspiration, a template, a blueprint for a nation yearning to shed the shackles of colonial rule and steer its own course. The ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity, the pillars of the American Revolution, found their way into the heart of India's political consciousness, shaping its struggle for independence. The influence of the American Revolution is most evident in the Indian Constitution, a robust document that enshrines the principles of democracy, justice, liberty, equality, and fraternity. The Constitution of India, drafted in the aftermath of independence, is a testament to the enduring legacy of the American Revolution. It borrows heavily from the American Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights, reflecting the shared democratic ethos. The democratic principles that govern the nation today are deeply rooted in the ideals of the American Revolution: the right to equality, the right to freedom, the right against exploitation, the right to constitutional remedies. These fundamental rights echo the sentiments of the American Revolution. They serve as the bedrock of India's democracy, ensuring the protection of individual liberties and promoting social justice. However, the legacy of the American Revolution isn't confined to the pages of the Constitution. It's alive in the spirit of the Indian people, in their relentless pursuit of justice, in their unwavering belief in the power of the people. The principles of democracy and self-governance, once championed by the American revolutionaries, now underpin the world's largest democracy. The echoes of the American Revolution continue to resonate in the democratic ethos of modern India. In the grand tapestry of history, the threads of the American Revolution and India's struggle for independence are intertwined. As we delve into the depths of history, We see how these two monumental events, separated by oceans and centuries, are connected in their pursuit of liberty and self-rule. The American Revolution, a beacon of rebellion against colonial rule, ignited the spark of revolution worldwide. At a time when the concept of self-governance was considered radical, the American Revolution stood as a testament to its possibility. This pivotal event challenged the established norms and set an example for nations yearning for freedom, India being one of them. Now, let's turn a page back to India's struggle for independence. An awakening was happening, a call for freedom was stirring. Influenced by the American Revolution, Indian freedom fighters started envisioning a nation free from British rule. The idea of self-governance of a democracy was no longer a far-fetched dream. It was a tangible goal, one that was worth fighting for. The American Revolution played a pivotal role in shaping India's struggle for independence. It offered a blueprint of resistance, a guide on how to challenge oppressive colonial rule. The principles of freedom, equality, and democracy, championed by the American Revolution, found resonance in the hearts of Indian leaders. It inspired them to fight for their rights, to strive for a democratic India. In conclusion, the American Revolution was not just a war fought on American soil for American independence. Its influence reached far beyond its borders, impacting the course of history in nations around the globe. It was a revolution that transcended geographical boundaries, inspiring nations like India in their quest for freedom. And so we see how these two historical events, seemingly disparate, are woven together in the fabric of history. They share a common thread, a shared story of struggle, resilience, and ultimately triumph in the face of adversity. Next time you ponder the path of history, remember how the cry for freedom in one nation can echo across continents, inspiring others in their own battles for self-rule.